Hi, I'm Deborah. I'm an expat coach and intercultural psychologist. I help people prepare for a move abroad and adjust once they're there. So today I'm going to talk about moving while retiring. This is something that many people do, and many people feel unprepared to tackle both transitions at the same time. Hopefully this video will shed some light on that. So, first of all, let's establish that when you move abroad at the same time that you're retiring, there are two changes happening, at least two major changes happening, and two basic changes that are fundamental to our life. So where we live, how we live, who we interact with, all that changes with the move abroad. And how we present ourselves in life, how we use our time during the day. Or so if you worked at night, doctors and other professionals that work for shifts, how do you use your time? So all of these things can be a lot. So I'm going to share some tips here to make you think about how to go about making this transition a lot easier. And before I share the tips, just one little nugget here is that when we move abroad, we typically attribute the challenges to the location where we're at. Like we don't speak the language, and then we don't, understand what's going on, and that's what makes us hard. We can't make friends. But the thing is that we rarely acknowledge that there are other transitions happening. Either it's retiring or moving jobs or changing jobs or going back to stay at home parent or going to study. There's typically something else also going on, and it's easy to point the finger at the environment because that's the most obvious thing that changed. So this is a little reminder, if you're, retiring or not, that if you're moving abroad, most likely something else will also move. Now let's get back to the retiring part. So as we talked about before, when we retire, a lot of our identity is tied to what we do in life and how we present and how we use our time. In many situations, like networking or when we meet someone for the first time, it is very common for the second question to be asked is, what do you do for a living, right? So when you retire, you kind of lose touch with that, or you can lose touch with that. So it's to establish, okay, how much of my identity, of how I see myself is related to my work. Because after the honeymoon, after the great part, both of retirement and of moving abroad, it is likely that there will hit a slump in energy, in positive view in life because, okay, the novelty, the adrenaline is over. Now what? So one tip is to see how much you are tied, your identity and how you see yourself is tied to either your location and or to what you do in life. And what do you do about it? So one thing to do is to have routines. That one of the things that people talk about the most is that when they're retired, they don't have time, they don't have a schedule, they don't have any place to go to. And while that is great for a while, it wears off, and it's good to have a framework. So find classes to take, find groups, sports, activities that have a time frame, like a place to go, a start time, an end time. So you feel empowered and you have something to look forward to. Now this can be as intense or as smooth as you like, like one class a week or classes every week. It doesn't matter, whatever works for you, but have something to look forward to. Many people also go towards volunteering because it's a way, it's working actually. You just don't get paid in money. You get paid in satisfaction or helping people, but you can, or helping other things or animals or whatever. So Volunteering can be also an interesting avenue, but see what speaks to your heart, because volunteering is to be taken seriously. I mean, it's a job, it's work, it's just not paid in money. So something that you can feel committed to. Also, factor in time for travel and other things. So sometimes we go to the extreme of overbooking ourselves when we're retired because we want to kind of like keep, the same rhythm we had, at least as similar as possible from what we were working, and temper that. Make sure to be mindful to temper that with downtime, with enjoying and doing fun things. On the other hand, if you're not doing anything, again, moderation and temper, it typically wears off. And when you don't have a schedule and something to look forward to in a foreign country, that can even be harder because it's harder to make friends. Sometimes it's harder to interact. We don't speak the language. So all in all, these are the three major tips to deal with the dual transition, as I like to call it, of retiring and moving abroad. There's a really good book called Managing Transitions by William Bridges. This is actually recommended reading in the Master Your Move, my group coaching program. If you want to learn more about the Master Your Move, feel free to check out the link below, and you can schedule a free enrollment call with me and we'll talk about it, see if it's a good fit. For today, that's it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.